Hi everybody, hello and welcome back to Edith. I bet you thought I'd forgotten all about her. Well, I haven't. I've just been busy doing other things. You know how it is. You get sidetracked, don't you, on something and then off you trot. I have made one more of these collage sheets, and that's the last one. Excuse me, that's the last one that I'm going to make. I'm not anticipating having too much left. But this is definitely my last collage page, and what we've got left in the book is this. We've got this piece and then one more signature. That's our last signature. Can you believe that? We've gone right through the book. So I mean, there's some beautiful images in here. Love that. And I love this one with the blue tits. I mean, obviously I do, I just love blue tits. So yes, there's that one. And then we get into the sort of index, really, where all the things that she's talked about, she's got the Latin name for them here. And I really like these pages, actually. I use them a lot. So there we are. We've got pages and pages of those. So where's the centre? Here's the centre. I've got a very nifty gadget, if it works. It's a little scalpel blade. It's a suture removing scalpel blade. You can see it's shaped like a little hook, and it's supposed to be so I can get in behind these stitches, but to be quite honest, I'm frightened of the blade. So let's see. Oh no, that works like a dream. My goodness me, that's sharp. But that is the perfect thing. Doesn't come in a holder, it's designed to be handheld. Let's just pop that back in there and make sure I've got these. Oh, look at that. My goodness me, what a sharp, brilliant little thing that is. Let's push that all the way down so I don't catch my hand on it. So we've got 1, 2, 3, and this one that's probably stuck in, is it? Yeah. 4, and that's the fly page. Let's pull this out. Pull that page off. And there we go. And there we have it. We have an empty book. So completely empty. We have gone from cover to cover. So I shall pass that on to Mr. F and see what delights he can come up with for our empty book cover. You never know. Right, so what shall we do with these then? Well, I think today I'm going to make notebooks. And I'm going to start with this one. I think this one's perfect. And I think we don't need to do anything else apart from fold it in half. Put some papers in it and fold it in half. So I've got some cream coloured paper here. You can use, of course, tea stain paper if you have it. And I think I'll put four pieces in, which when all folded up will give me a nice amount. So I'm just going to cut it slightly less high, about there, and slightly less wide. Cut it to there. I think we should be all right at that. So let's slice and dice that. I'm going to try and cut them all together. This might be a good thing, this might be a bad thing, I do not know. Let's give it a go, find out. Oh no, it seems to cut it quite well. I love my Timmy trimmer, I really, really do. I use it so much. And try this one here. Right, I'm not saving these. And I know that might seem a bit frivolous, but I just don't use them and they're just clogging my system up, so they're off. Right, I'm not going to ink around these ones. I am going to erase the pencil marks though. Well, I tried to erase it and it made it worse. There we go. Right. So what I need to do first is ink around here and stitch around it. I think it's thick enough. I'm pretty sure that's thick enough. So I'm still using my frayed burlap because that's what I've used throughout, and it gives it some continuity. And I think it's just the right darkness. It's not too dark. So I hope you're all doing well, behaving yourselves, keeping out of trouble. We haven't had a bad week weather-wise. I have to tell you the weather, or otherwise it wouldn't be me. It hasn't been rainy or anything. It's been quite cold, but not desperately so. And sometimes in the afternoon the sun actually manages to poke its head out, so that's good. Right, there we are, we've got that. Now I want to sew around this, of course. So let me just sew around that. Where's the bottom? I'm going to start at the bottom at the middle. Just there. Oops, that's a bit much. There we go. So I'm just going to trim my ends off. Right, and I'm going to push my stitches in because I just like it better when they're all flattened. They look better and they feel better as well. There we go. Right. Oh, that's nice. So let's fold that in half. Lovely. This is going to be our little book. I really like that actually. So let's fold each of these in half. You could fold them all together, but to be honest, you get a better finish if you fold each one individually. I know it seems like a bit like a faff, but it's worth doing it. There's only 4, so it doesn't take forever. There we go. So that's our 4. And let's see, when we put them together, they do step out. The pages always do, because they've got this pinch point here which pushes the next one that way. So you just get a little, it just steps out a little. I don't know if there's room for, oh, there's plenty. Oh no, well, there's not really. So what we do is we get a cutting board, and a ruler. And actually, let me ink this one. It's going to look a bit weird because it's going to be the only one that's inked, but you'll see what I'm on about then if I ink it. Let's ink all the way around. So if we put that back on now, you'll see how they step out? See that step there? Well, we don't want that. I like it when it's nice and smooth, you know, flat. So let me just get an ordinary scalpel out. Hold that on the edge of what we have now inked, and then just take your scalpel or your rotary cutter, either one. Try and hold your ruler still, and just go over there until you've got all the bits gone, like that. There we are. And then it's straight. And I would advise that you do that any time that you're making a journal or a little booklet or anything. It's just worth it to get it all nice and smooth. Nice and flat at that side. When you do a journal, honestly, they can step out ½ an inch or more. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this central page, fold it back on that crease that we've already creased it on. I'm just going to go up there with my ink, fold it back, put it back in where it belongs, in there as well. And I'm just going to stitch on the machine all the way down there. Now, I think it might move on me. There's a potential it might move on me. So I'm just going to put some clips on it. So I don't want it to move, obviously. So make sure it's pressed right into that corner. I'm putting my clips there. I'll start up here. Lengthen the stitch on your machine because you're going through more thicknesses, and you don't want this to be perforated like a stamp. So I'm going to put my stitch length up to 3.5. It's normally on, it's normally on 2.5. Come on girl, get a grip. Right, drop my needle, reverse, reverse, reverse. That's tied that off nicely, and then just follow that line of the ink that you've put in. Take your time. And then when you get to the end, reverse, reverse, and then just run it off the end, and that'll lock your stitches in. Oh, just run out of bobbin thread. Oh well, that was good, at least I got this sewn out of it. So let's clip these ends off. I mean, you can sew this in like a regular 3-hole pamphlet stitch, 5-hole pamphlet stitch if you want to go to town. But really, for a little booklet like this, that's just fine. It's easy enough to do because, you know, you can ink that centre. Let's push those stitches in because they look a bit unsightly. There we go. And there's our little booklet. Lovely. That's a really pretty little booklet and very, very useful. So let me just refuel my bobbin in my sewing machine and I'll be back. Right, that's my sewing machine sorted out then. So looking at what we've got, I think I'm going to find this kind of difficult to place like that. It's quite tall. So what I'm going to do is fussy cut these out. So I'm going to fussy cut those out and I'll see you in a sec. Right, I've got those two cut out separately, and oh, isn't that just so cute, the little wren? He's just gorgeous. And this fellow. So I was thinking that I would make another notebook, just a slightly different kind, and I'd put him onto there. I think he looks gorgeous on there actually, onto that index. And let's just check that he's going to fit in a journal. It's about 4 inches, that's fine. That'll easily fit into a journal. So let's cut this off at 4 inches. Get the Jolly Green Giant out. I've got 2 pages here. So that wasn't the page I had. This was the page I had. So cut that quite near where the words start, and they're not straight, which is fine. And I'm going to cut that off at 4, or maybe 4 1/4 actually. Just give me a bit of breathing space. 4 1/4. There we go. Now, this now measures 9, almost 9 1/4, of course, that we know that height. Or I should have known that height. So if I put that there, like that, he's gorgeous, isn't he? That'll give me room to fold something over at the top to make my notebook. Now, I don't think, yeah, I might put a piece in the back as well, just to give it a bit of support. So I think I'll use this. It's only got that on it. Let's cut that off at 4 1/4 as well then. Oops. 4 1/4. There we go. Lovely. So I need to decide at what height I need to fold this, and I think something like 7 inches. 7 inches is here, and he would go in there. Yeah, I think 7 inches is nice. So let's just make a mark where 7 inches is. It's there, right there. And I'm just going to score that line. That's going to be our foldy over line. So that's about 2, it's about 2 1/8 inches that I'm scoring at there. Lovely. Pop that back. Try and pop it back, there we go. And fold that over that way, and that's going to be the front of our little journal. Oh, isn't that gorgeous? That is lovely. And this is going to be our back page, and it's just a bit thicker than the papers I'm putting in, so it'll just give it a bit of support. So I want that there. Let's move it up so I can mark it. I want that there. So I'm going to cut this about there. So let's just trim that off. There. And that's going to be the back of our little notebook. I probably don't need all that on the back actually, in fairness. I'll trim that off. a little bit, just to about, I'll leave about an inch. There we go. So that's what it'll look like. Right. So let's just ink around these. I'm sure a lot of you know how to make notebooks. They're not difficult, but they do fit into pockets in your journal, and it gives so much journaling space, and you can take them out. You know, you can take a whole one out with you, and you know, if you're on holiday or something and you're on a day trip, you can just take the whole thing out and write some little notes down as you go if you wish. I wonder what percentage of junk journals actually get used. I'd love to know, because I suspect most people get them and don't use them. But I could be wrong. Red Star of Firetail. Okay, so I'm going to make that the top. So I'm not going to ink the top, so I know which it is. It's got that on it, and that's all it's got on it, so it's... So, you know, when you get this, you can stamp on it, you can add another fussy cut to it if you want to. It is literally the back page of a notebook, so I don't think it needs a lot. But that doesn't mean to say you can't put something on it. Really embellish it. So there we are, that's the back. I've done both sides of that, excellent. So now I just need to cut my papers out to go in there. And I've got these ones that were left from the last one that we've just done. Coffee stain paper would look better, but I don't have any, so I'm not going to worry. So I want it a little bit shorter. So I'm going to mark it there, a little bit less wide. There's my mark there, so I'm going to cut it there. Okay. Hope they've all stayed together. And you can ink around these if you want to. I'm going to throw these out. I don't think there's any real need to ink around the pages in a notebook, but should you be desirous, then crack on. Right, so what's going to happen is, this is the front. Actually, let me stick this on and then we'll know definitely which is the front. So he's going like that. Doesn't he look splendid? He looks splendid. Right, I'm going to try my new glue. Well, it's the same glue. It's the stuff that I've always used, the EVA, but I've got this fancy new way of going on. And it's got a really, really fine tip and a lovely, super easy, squeezy bottle. Oh my goodness, look at this. This is the finest tip. It's marvellous. I got mine from Pink Frog. I don't know if anybody else does them. I'm sure they do. Can't just be Pink Frog here in the UK. But I thought I'd give them a... Actually, the truth of the matter was I was ordering glue from them. I was ordering collall from them. And if you ordered some, you know, it's just a little bit short of getting up to the free postage. So I thought I'd order these. Right, so let's stick you there, mate. Perfect. What a lovely notebook. Right, so what happens is there's a pin in there and it goes in that nozzle and then you screw it in. And of course there's no way it can get blocked because it's got the pin in it. Right, so let's turn over to the back of this. Here's our pages. They go there like that. Perfect. Then this goes over the top, level with the bottom of the front page, like that. Oh, not quite. Like that, yes, like that. And that folds over. Okay. Just wondering whether I should ink that or not. Ugh. I've got it all lined up and then I decide to ink it. Typical, typical. Right, let's line these lot up again then. So that goes there. Yeah, that's lovely. And this, no difference really, lines up with the front cover. There we go. As easy as peasy. Now I'm going to keep my machine on the longer stitch and I'm just going to sew through it. And I'm going to sew it about 1/2 inch, something like that. And same story, drop it down, put your needle down and then reverse and reverse. And one more. And then let's come along here. Sewing through quite a thickness, so don't rush it. And then reverse, reverse, and then forward off the page. There we go. So there we have it. There's our notebook. Let me just cut the scraggly threads off. The sewing machine obviously, oh, it didn't like it, didn't sew through it. Let's cut this out then. It didn't like it. What I suspect is because it was a new bobbin, it didn't pick up the new thread at the beginning here, so that can happen. So I'm just going to have to sew that bit again. I'm going to sew all the way along so it looks sort of like double stitching. Yeah, I think that was the problem, that it was a new bobbin and it just didn't pick it up, because it's fine now, so that's great. Easily resolved. And there we have it. There's our little notebook. That'll just fit in a pocket or slide in a side pocket even. And you've got a lovely little notebook there. Lovely. So that's 2 notebooks we've got. And I kind of need to do 2 more the same, well, similar, because I've got 2 lots of ephemera here. So I'll do those after. I'll make those up after. I'll just show you what else I'm going to do. I'm going to take one of these envelopes that I've got. We call them DL here. I don't know if you call them that in the States or not. I'm not sure. And I'm literally going to cut it in half. Is what I'm going to do. There we go. And I want to chop that on the Timmy trimmer. But the best way is just to pop that folded edge through like that and trim just a sliver off there. didn't want to cut that, it's too thick. So there we have it, two halves of the envelope. Doesn't really matter if they're the same or not, to be honest. Now I've done that, I can see they didn't really need to be identical, but so let's just glue this down. There we go. Glue the other one. Oh my, I'm in love with this. It's so fine. It's gorgeous. Might not be a good one for videos though, because getting the needle back in and screwing it on probably takes too long. Right, so what I want to do now is make these just into simple little pockets, and I'm going to take some of this index and do that. So how wide is this? Oh, I can measure it here. It's between 4 1/4 and 4 1/2. So let's just cut off that margin there. And then I'll cut it off something like where I think the measurement is. Let's hope it's right. There we go. Is that something like right? Oh, it's not far off at all. So I want to get this, I should get both pockets out of here. So I'm going to cut that there. And the other one should be the same. I mean, it should be identical. And that one there. Right, let's just trim those on the timmy. It's hard to see when the filming lights are on actually, because it goes very shiny. There we go. And this one. Just there, I think. Yeah. Lovely. So let's just check it out. It's marginally too large, but I'm okay with that. I can trim it down once it's on. So let's get them stuck down. Then we just trim them. Trim them and ink them. Yikes, my glue's dripping. Too much glue. It's just a new filled up bottle, so it's eager to come out. Right, I'm going to get this corner absolutely right. Like that, and then there's just be a little bit of tidying up to do around here. Lovely. You can see how if you had other fussy cuts, these would be beautiful. I mean, that little wren would be gorgeous on there. I might just put her on. Oh, I hope I've got the top. Have I? Yes. Have I? Yes, yes, yes. Yes, I have. That's a relief, because I didn't check it first. And that's the top of this one. Yes, excellent. Oh dear, that would have been just typical, wouldn't it? Actually, it would have come off because I just put it on and it's collalled. But, you know, I should check these things. Let's pop this one on here. And this would look nice on just a fairly plain page, you know, a tea-stained page. you just pop this pocket on. Very easy pocket, and because it's an envelope, you've got all that space. You know, you haven't got any, the glue isn't coming in from the sides to make your pocket smaller, because I hate that. You think you've got a nice wide pocket, and then you come to put something in it, you're trimming and trimming because it's too... Right, I'm going to cut up here and hopefully not cut the pocket, because then I'll have a tuck spot, not a pocket. It just needs a little whisker off along here. There we go. So that's that one. This one, same thing. Don't trim your envelope. There we are, it's at the top of that's okay. Right. So we've got two pockets. Let's ink around them. I possibly should have stitched around that actually before I put it on, but I haven't. So I haven't. I could stitch around it now, but it would take away what we were trying to gain, which was the space in the pocket. So it is what it is. It's nice. We'll see what we've got by way of tags and journaling cards to fit in here. There we go. So where's my collage sheet? Here it is. So yeah, we can definitely get some lovely big cards in there. So let's mark that where I want to cut it, which is about there. And I want it quite tall. So let's see how tall I want it. About 6.5. Let's go for 6.5, which is there. Okay. Where was my first mark? Ah, there it is. Let's just make that a little bit more noticeable, so I can trim that off. It's there. Try and get it square. It's never easy when you've got a collage sheet, because they do go out of square. They definitely do. And cut this one here. There we go. That's a nice little card. Let's just check it fits in. It'll be easier once it's actually glued down to a page. Yeah, that's lovely. And height wise, I think that's perfect. Yeah, okay. So I want another one the same sort of size as that. So let's just measure it off this one. So it's there, and it's there. Lovely. Trim that one out. Oh, my little wren, don't get lost. So you can see how quickly you use up pieces of A4 collage. I mean, you just use them up like they're going out of fashion, to be honest. There we are. Trim that one off. And we're left with this, which I do want to use. It's really nice. So I'm gonna trim that off at 6.5 and make a tag out of it. I think that's the thing to do. So let's get my template thing, this, and just trim off the corners. And then we'll have a tag. There we are. Perfect. Okay, so let's ink round those and stitch round those, which I don't think you need to see me do. Oh, before I do that, I'm going to trim the corners on here. That's going to use my 1/4 inch and just round them off a little bit, and I think they'll look a little bit classier. But it is really, you know, I've said this before, but it's an excellent way of using up your remnants, and they really do look nice. So there we go, that's that. So yeah, what I'm going to do is ink round these, the 2 journaling cards and the tag, and then stitch around them, and I'll be right back to you. Okay, so I've sewn round these journaling cards. I've sewn round here. I just want to put a hole and some ribbon in the top of this one. So let's just find the centre. Find my pencil, would be an idea. Pencil, here we are. So that's the centre there. Make a mark there, and just make the hole, and I'm going to put an eyelet in it, a gold one. Why not? I feel in a goldy mood, so let's do gold. Squish that up, or set it, I guess is the proper words for it, set it, but squish it up will do nicely. And I've got my gingham ribbon here. I'm just going to take a little bit of that, and I want some of my hempified stuff. I don't know what it is. It could be hemp, could be string, call it what you will. So let's push this through here. There we go. And just straighten that out so it's not all twisted in the eyelet. There. Oh, my ribbon's a bit long. Never mind, it doesn't matter. Pop the glue on there, that'll hold that there. Then I'm just going to tie this off with a bow. And it'll look, to my mind, quite Edithy. I like the gingham with Edith, and I like the string. I think they're both quite, they have an Edith sort of look to them. So I want to leave some ends on here, but maybe not quite that long. And I need to trim these off because they are too long. Let's cut that about there. A pair of sharp scissors is always a help. These ones are far from sharp. I think they've got glue on them actually, which doesn't help at all. There we are. Goodness. There we are. So that's that. So that's another thing that we can pop in the box. Something else that we've done. Now these, I was thinking about these actually as I was sewing them, and I thought this is quite a large expanse to not have anything on it. So I was wondering whether we could actually put another pocket on this pocket. Yes, I think we can. So let's see what we've got that we can make a pocket out of. That's not Well, it is, but it's a bit empty. Let's see what else we've got. Got little Jenny Wren there. I don't want to lose her. What have we got left? Not a fat lot. That's a big picture, which I don't want to. So I've got index, but that is already index. And this. So it's going to have to be this. So I don't know, what size do I want it? Let's have a look. I'd like it to be about 2.5 inches by 3. 2.5 by 3 tall. So let's just trim that there. And then trim that at 3. Oh, I need to cut the fluffy edge off. Right, so let's cut that at 3. Now, I kind of want it to be, I'd like it to be gusseted if possible. So if I want it 3 inches tall, I need to make it 4 inches tall. And then I can turn half an inch in all the way around. So that's 4 inches, and I want it to be 2.5, so I want it to be 3.5, so I can turn all my gussets in. So there's that one. Is that one 3.5? It's not far off. It'll be all right. It'll be okay. Oh, where am I going with that? Right, so now I'm just going to get my scoreboard and go around these and score in. Let's just move these from under me. Score in all my edges, as you've seen me do multiple times. I do like a gusseted pocket. I can't see the point pretty much in having just a flat pocket if you want to put things in, because there's no room. And it's likely to distort whatever it's glued onto as well. So I prefer just to do this. So let's cut out those corners. They're a bit hard to see, to be honest. I think that's okay. Time will tell when we fold them in how accurate or otherwise we've been. So that will be our pocket. That's nice. That's a nice little pocket. It'll look nice on there. Just take the plainness away. Right, so what I want to do now is ink around there. And then I'm going to stitch around this one. There we are. So now I've inked it, I can see where to stitch it. So I'm going to do exactly the same. I'm going to stitch around there, and then I'm going to do exactly the same to this other one that we've got. So I'll see you in a sec. Okay, so I have done some other things, but I'll show you what they are presently. So I've sewn around those, and now I'm going to affix them onto there. I just want to fold in my top, the top part, which just adds a bit of rigidity to that top bit. I can't imagine too many people are going to be taking things in and out of this pocket, but it's good practice. Good practice is good practice. So we'll fold in the top. There we go. Lovely. And then these need to get folded in, and they need to get put on here. And I'm thinking that I might want them over to this side. Yeah, I think so. So I'm going to put some glue on all my gussety bits. If you've learnt nothing else in this series, you've certainly learned how to make gusseted pockets, because that's kind of what I do. Makes them all very usable. There we are. So keep hold of those and the bottom goes down first, like that. There we go. Now it's difficult with this because the text isn't straight. You know, it wasn't straight on the page. But I think that's okay there. So give that a good press down. And that'll give us a nice little pocket and a, you know, a little bit of decoration on the front of there as well. So same here, let's glue down. Oh, my glue in this bottle's coming to the end. But I do want to use it all, so I'll keep persisting with it. There we go. Hold those two in, put your bottom down first, like that, and try and get it square up there. That's probably your best square in place. There we go. That's square. I think so. It is hard to tell because this, as I say, the text is not square on the page, so it's hard to get it exactly right. So there's our two pockets with our pockets on our pockets. And I've looked these two, these were two that we'd done previously, cut out of on the Tiny Timmy. Yeah, I think they're a little bit too small. I think I'm going to have to make, let's put them back in the bag of the small tags so they don't get lost. I think we're going to have to make two purposely to go in there. So what have we got that we can make it out of? Have we got any pictures at all? No is the answer to that. We've used all of the pictures up apart from these few with the berries on. I don't think I can. No, I'm just going to have to use text. That's okay. I've got this one that goes that way. That one goes the correct way. Yeah, let's stick with the correct way if we can. Oh, we're running out of stuff. Well, I think we're going to have to use that one, which goes that way, but that's okay. I'm all right with that. So let's just see where we need to cut it. I don't think that's going to fit in there. Let's make sure we haven't glued down the gussets, because then they're no use. Will that fit in there or not? Ooh, just look at that. Perfect. Okay, so now we need another piece. It's going to go in here. So I'd like it to be there. Let's cut it there. That should be all right. And how tall do I want it? About the same height as that one. Right, let's trim that out then. We are getting down to the nitty-gritty now. But I'm not surprised, because haven't we made loads of ephemera? We've got so much. There we go. Lovely. So I probably need to back these. Let's just check this fits in here. Perfect. Oh, the bottom needs stuck down a bit more. that's catching on my tag. Let's give that a go. It's catching on my tag, which is annoying. See if I can push it down a bit more. I think that's it now. Yeah, that's fine. And this one goes in okay, just double check that. Yeah, that's fine. So those are going to be, excuse me, our, right, so I think we need to back these, and I've got a little, it's a scrap bit really of card, but it'll be perfect. Wow, look at that, it's like it was made to measure. That's perfection. Let's stick those on there. Fabulous. I'm just going to use my Collall, but try not to put too much on it. It's difficult when it's a newly filled bottle, because any pressure at all makes it splurge out the top. We don't have to talk a lot about glues, don't we, junk journalers? You know, I seriously bet that pretty much any glue would do the job. And yet we go on, we've got this, we've got that, oh my life. I think I've found my dream team of glues with my EVA instead of PVA and my Collall. That to me is my dream team. And then if I need anything major stuck down, like a big sort of metal embellishment or something like that, then I've got super glue. Nothing much argues with super glue. And it's quick. So, yeah, that's my dream team of glues. Let's cut these out then. So I never thought we'd see the end of this book, to be honest. Seemed to be the book that kept on giving. But we've got there. Well, almost. Got a couple of pages left, haven't we? Well, one I think actually is what we've got left. So thank you to everyone who's joined me in the process. You may have noticed, however, that there's one part of the book that we haven't used. And I did say I'd be using the entire book. We have not used either the cover itself or the dust jacket. So if you want to see what's going to happen with those, stay tuned to the channel, because coming up soon Mr. F will be showing you how you can use your book cover, and it's exciting. I can tell you it's really exciting. I can't wait for it, but we are going to have to wait until he does his video which won't be today, it might be this week. I'm hoping it's going to be this week. So there we go, that's our two tags. I just want to cut the tops off so they look like tags. I'm just going to use a small angle, that's the word I'm looking for. There we go. There we go, same on the other one. I'm just going to check before I stitch around these that they still fit, because sometimes adding that little bit extra of the card on the back just makes it not fit. So I'm just going to have a quick, it's worth doing it now before you stitch. No, that's brilliant. Come on. That's it. Yeah, no, they fit fine. So I'm just going to stitch around those and I'll be straight back. Right, so that's those two finished. Don't they look nice? I'm really pleased with those, just from splitting an envelope in two. That's what happened to those. So that's lovely. They can go in the basket. Now the only other thing I've done is taken a piece of Edith paper out the book, taken the fuzzy edge off and stuck it onto a sheet of the cream paper that I've been using. So we've got this lovely journaling spot here, which would fit into a pocket, no problem. And I just want to see what else I've got left. Not much, actually, is the answer to that. Just little bits, really. No, there's nothing there to do anything with, I'm afraid. Apart from this page here. So I'll use this page here, and what I want to do is just put a pocket across there. So let's just see how wide I want it to be. From there to there. And yeah, once again I want to gusset this pocket. I'm really sorry if it's getting on your nerves, but it's just kind of, to me, it's just essential. Whoops, that's easy. So I want it sort of 1/2 inch longer than where I made that mark, which is about there, and 1/2 inch longer than where I made this mark, so we can fold the gussets in. Lovely. Now then, how tall do I want it? That sort of tall. What does that measure? It measures 4 inches, so I'm going to cut it at 4.5. I think that'll be, yeah, that'll be fine. There we go. Right, so that's going to be our pocket. I'm just going to score along it. So this is the last time, guys. The last time for this project, anyway. So I'm just going to score it at those marks that we made, which is actually about 1/2 inch, so that's all right. All the way around. That one might be slightly more than 1/2 inch, actually. I'm just going to do that at 5/8. Yeah, that's fine. And then this one at 1/2. Lovely. And you know the drill by now. We all know the drill by now. Cut it off into the corners. Wow, it's kind of hard to see. I hope I'm something like right. There, let's fold that and give that a go. Yeah, that's okay. That's all right. Lovely. I don't know, that one might be a bit sticky outy. Let's just give that a trim. Right. So I'm just going to ink around there, and then I'm going to stitch around there. Before I do that, I'm going to glue down this top bit. There we go. Lovely. So let's just ink around it. There we go. Now I'm just going to stitch around it. So see you in a sec. Okay, so that's us stitched around there. Trim the thread ends off. And then I'm going to pop this into here. Let's just check that it fits. Yes, perfectly actually. So let's get that glued in. Just going to glue the bottom first. Get that stuck in first. I just find it a little bit easier when I can do that. So I'm putting it sort of on the stitching line. Yeah, that's lovely. And we'll just give that a good burnish down so it doesn't interfere when we're putting things in and out of the pocket. Okay, now the side gussets. So with this, not only have we got the whole thing to journal on the inside, but we've got this pocket now that will have a journaling card in. So fold those in, and that's that. Lovely. There's our lovely pocket, and I thought there's a special little treat for this pocket. We could put our beautiful wren on it. It's just so gorgeous, isn't it? So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to actually use my other glue, the one with a fancy fine tip, if I can find it. Which I can't. I have no idea where. Oh, it's under my sewing machine. Excellent. Hiding from me. It's just got such a fine tip, this. It just makes it easier to do the little twiddly bits. And once we've made this journal card, that is us pretty much finished this book. There's no more we can do. There we are, there's our little Jenny Wren. Just going to pop her on there, like that, with a twig. Just get myself a towel. Make sure that's stuck down nicely. Lovely. So we just need a journaling card to go in the back of there. See if we can get this on quick sharp. Oh, come on. There we go. I guess you get used to it, you know, the more you do it, the more you get used to it. So we want a journaling card. What have we got left? Nothing much. Nothing much. I've got this. Have I got any in the basket? That's the question. Let's have a look and see what we've got in here. Well, I've got their coin envelopes. That go in there. It's just a little bit too tall. I've got that. That's nice. That's nice. That will do me perfectly, actually. So there we are, and that, as I say, once that goes into a pocket, it'll lie flat, obviously. So let's see what we've done today. We have made this, which is lovely, isn't it? It's really, really nice. We've made these two. I made another one when I was doing something else. So we've got two little notebooks there. Nice, go in a pocket. We've got, these two, my favourites. These two with the big journaling card and the little pocket on the front. Really nice. We made a tag out of our collage sheet, and then we made these two. Look at that one, that's just beautiful, isn't it? Little notebooks, tearaway notebooks. And this one, I couldn't cut that up. It's the same as this one. I made exactly the same way, except I zigzagged across the top for some reason. But it's identical, you know, just a little tearaway book. So we've got two tearaway books. We've got two little notebooks like that. We've got two of these big journaling card pockets from the envelope. We've got a tag from the collage board, and we've got this journaling space here. That looks really nice to me. I really like that, which will fit into a pocket. So there we go. Haven't we done well today? And all of those can go in our basket, which is by now getting really quite full. Pop all these in. We have got bits left over, but they're, you know, I'm not going to do another collage sheet. I'm all collaged out. Look at all these. Oh my goodness me. So many. So there you have it. That is the end of The Demise of Our Edith book. Thank you for joining me throughout the whole journey. I know some of you have really enjoyed it. I've really enjoyed it. Just getting to see what we could make out of it. And look, I mean, this is half because when I got to this full before, I sold it in two lots. So we had this much again. What an amount of ephemera we got. So thanks for joining me. Don't forget to be on the lookout, because Mr. F has got designs on our book cover and our dust cover for that matter. So keep watching and see what he's up to, and I'll see you again very soon. Thank you. Bye.